Hi guys, and welcome back to my random thoughts. 2020 has been a crazy year. It has been horrible for some of us, it has been okay for some of us, but it has also been really good for some of us. So here are 6 things that I learned from 2020. Hopefully you can take away something from it. So let's go. Here are my random thoughts. All right, number 1. Reassessment of priorities. I think for all of us in our 20s and 30s, we kind of have goals in life. We set steps for different phases, for a different age. We set steps to say, okay, by this age, I want to have accomplished all of this. Whether it is our personal life, whether it is our career, whatever it is, we have those steps ready, or at least like made a mental picture in our heads. But in 2020, what was different for me was, of course, all of us had a lot of time, and I had a lot of time on my hands just sitting at home and being able to think. I was able to do some soul searching. And it was not just the goals that I had set for my life, but it was actually going back and saying, okay, why do I want to do this? If I have a certain goal, let's say in the next 3 years that I want to accomplish, for me it was going deeper to say, why do I want to do this? So I asked myself 7 times the same question, why, and that actually helped me to go deeper into the purpose of why I want to achieve that goal. So that definitely helped me to kind of narrow down the intricate details of the goal that I wanted to achieve. So for example, in my career, if I wanted to come to a certain position, for me it was also mapping down the smaller details as to how I'm going to do it with a team or by myself or with a certain budget or, all the external sources that I needed. So for me, it was not just writing down my goals, it was going down to the details and finding out the why of why I wanted to achieve a certain goal. Number 2, self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity. When it comes to self-care, I think social media and digital media have kind of defined a certain kind of self-care for all of us. But for me, it was deeper. And I wrote down 4 different things of self-care that I needed to do and accomplished this year. So 1, distancing from toxicity. There is so many negative things, and even in the news, when we turn it on, there were so many negative news, there were so many bad things happening around us, or even with people's words and people's thoughts, they were so negative that it started to become toxic. It started to become negative in my head, and I started to say those things. So I had to kind of distance myself and say, okay, this is my limit, this is my boundary as to how much news I will watch or how much time I will spend with that person, to, of course, listen to them, but also put a boundary to say, okay, I will listen to them, but I will not get it into my mind. So I had to make that boundary. I had to distance myself from that toxicity. Number 2, taking a break. Oh my goodness, this was so important this year. I have been working all these years, and this year it was kind of like I was forced to sit inside my house and do a lot of thinking, do a lot of reassessment, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you guys as well. So just taking a break, relaxing was so good for me mentally and emotionally to kind of realign and reassess the purpose of the things that I wanted to do. Number 3, healing emotionally and mentally. So necessarily all of us don't have to go into some kind of trauma or some kind of painful situation. Some kind of bad thing does not have to happen to us to heal emotionally and mentally. We all have some kind of stresses in life, whether it's our job, whether it is a certain kind of pressure that is surrounding us. There are some stresses and there are some kind of pressures that we need to get over, and we just need to, make sure that we are healing from those pressures, healing from those small pains and sadnesses, so that we are stronger mentally and emotionally. Some of us do have pain, some of us do have a certain kind of sadness that is deep within us and need to take time to heal from it mentally and emotionally. But for me, it was, just calming my mind and asking the questions and then realigning my goals to say, okay, I need to heal from this pressure. I need to heal from this small tear in my heart, and just taking a break helped me with that. And number 3, pampering. So, of course, many can say that this is a no-no, you're wasting your time, this is not necessary. But sometimes just, being in the moment, whether it is taking care of your hair, whether it is taking care of your nails, whether it's taking care of a certain part of your body, that is also a certain way where you can heal from the day's stress, from the toxicity, from the negativity, from the bad things around you. So these 4 things definitely helped me in realigning, reassessing my goals, and achieving them this year. All right, number 3, being thankful. This year I realized that there are so many good friendships, there are so many good relationships in my life, which helped me to be the person I am, to get to the place where I am, to be wholeheartedly satisfied and happy and just full of joy. And for that, many friends in my life, many people in my life are responsible. So I took the time to let people know that I am thankful for them, that I'm grateful for the small things that they did in my life. I have gone through some low points in my life, but they were there to just encourage me, to just pick me up and say, you are stronger than you think, you can get through this. So whether it is their words, whether it is their time, whether it is their effort, or them just being there really helped me to be the person I am today. So for me, saying thank you put a smile on my face, because when I said thank you to them, they told me that it's nice to be thought of. It's nice to be recognized for the good or for the sacrifices they did to, talk with me, talk through different things with me. And they told me that it gave them simple joy. So just hearing that put a smile on my face. So I continued to say thank you, because selfishly, I wanted to have a smile on my face, and I highly recommend you guys do it too. Say thank you to maybe a random stranger, your mom or your best friend, and it goes a long way. All right, number 4, survival skills. 2020 has proved that when man is put in a tough spot, he will innovate, he will invent, he will create, and he will do something to get out of his tough situation. So for us, when we all had to quarantine, when we were under lockdowns or just work from home, we were able to adapt and we were able to change according to our surroundings. We were able to change and make things work for us, whether it is our food, whether it is sleep, whether it is our job, whether it is our relationships, our family life, whatever it is, we were able to make it work. So in 2020, many of us, even my friends, started small businesses. They started to maybe have a home bakery or have some kind of small business from their house to get an income for themselves. Many of us realize that we are in a different line of career, line of job that we don't even want to do, and started working on building a new resume and started investing in a new career. And many of us, this includes me too, started cooking and started baking. Well, I've been cooking and baking for a long time now. Somebody has to feed me. But this year it was a lot more. I had so much time at home because I wasn't commuting for 3 to 4 hours per day. I had more time at home. So I was able to invent new recipes and cook new foods that I really liked, and was able to, make my tummy happy. So I'm sure it was the same for you guys as well. If we have to be inside, if we have to be cramped, and if we have to just be confined to 4 walls, 2020 proved that we will be able to do it. And when that pressure, or when we are bombarded with all of these things, we will invent, we will innovate, and we will come out with new ideas. And though it's different for different people, we will be able to survive. All right, number 5, God should not be seen through bad experiences or through the eyes of bad people. So this is something serious. This is something important that I definitely wanted to talk about in this Random Thoughts episode, because one, all of us go through some kind of bad experience, some kind of bad relationship. Maybe if it's not a romantic relationship, our trust might have been broken. We might have been disappointed by somebody, or we might have disappointed people. So when those things happen, for example, when disappointment happened in my life, what I faced was somebody telling me, for example, a spiritual leader coming and telling me, oh, you didn't do what I told you to do, so God is going to punish you. I had to unlearn that, and I had to educate myself and say, just because I do something wrong, or just because I don't please somebody in the name of God or in the name of religion, doesn't mean God will punish me. God sees me through a different light, and I had to learn that my character and my personality, when I educate myself, when I learn the scriptures, I will get a different perspective, and God will become real to me, maybe in a different way. So I had to unlearn all the hurt and educate myself that the way I see God is not necessarily the same way that other people see God. I had to learn that just because people are petty, God is not petty also. So I had to educate myself and get a different perspective of my own faith. They say that hurt people hurt people. So it was up to me. It was my responsibility to get over that hurt, number one. Not forget the lesson that I learned, but forget the pain that came from it. Forget the shame and the guilt that came from it. So when it comes to religion, when it comes to faith, I know that it is all important for those who have a faith, for those who practice a certain religion. It is so important, and it becomes very personal. And God is misinterpreted. It just leaves a tear, it leaves a scar on people's hearts, to kind of think that, oh, maybe this is how God is, that God is bad, that God is judgmental, God is, this brutal punisher of all your sins. But really, God is merciful, and He is not judgmental. He is a friend, and I had to learn to see God in a different way, that I am not just practicing religion out of rituals and tradition, but practicing religion as a personal experience, as a lifestyle. So the takeaway from this is, don't look at God through bad experiences or through the eyes of bad people, but educate yourself and learn for yourself who God is, because your perspective is vital, and it is shaped through your own personality and shaped through your own character, and it is important. All right, number 6, the best one yet, if I can say it. There is strength in vulnerability. So many of you know that this year I released my book, The Courage to Identify Who You Are. Many of you have read it, you have DM'd me, you have emailed me, you have messaged me and said that it's definitely encouraged you to come out of your shell and to find your identity, though you're going through trying times. So first of all, thank you for your words of encouragement. They definitely helped me get through my nervousness and my timidity. I was contemplating if I should put the book out there or not, because it shares a lot of my personal stories and how I came out of it. So I wanted to encourage other girls, I wanted to encourage other boys and men my age to say that you have to come out of your shell and find your identity for yourself in different streams of life. So in that, when I realized that my stories are out there, I was thinking maybe I'm going to be judged, maybe I'm going to be shamed for the things I've mentioned in the book. But just being vulnerable, just being open and honest, I saw that it helped so many people start conversations in their own homes. So that was definitely encouraging for me, and I learned that if you have a story, you have to share it. And that is what encourages another person not to repeat that mistake, to be stronger and to say that I am not alone and I can get through whatever horrible situation I am in. And it is a testament to your journey, the hardships, the pain, the sacrifice, the shame and guilt that you have gone through. It is a testament of how you have come out of all of that and become a stronger person. So here is me encouraging you, if you have a story to share, definitely share it, even if it's on your social media, if it's on your digital platforms, if it is with a small group of people or just with your friend, share your story. It will definitely help someone. So those are the 6 things I learned this year. I hope that was encouraging to you. I hope I made you laugh. I hope you were able to relate to some of the things and learn some things, hopefully, along the way. Comment below and let me know, did you go through any of this? Your cooking stories, your mishaps, your horrible stories from this year. I want to know your story and listen to you and chat with you in the comment section below. Here is 2020 ending, and to all of you, a happy 2021. I will see you next year. Subscribe to my channel. See you in the next Random Thoughts.